All right, so we're going to play this game.
All right, guys, I'm not in this for the money. I'm just very thankful that Kevin invited me here, and I just wanted to give back. And I've had a blast here meeting all of you guys. And if you haven't gotten a chance, I would love to meet all of you by the end of this. I don't even know what constitutes a hack because, Kevin's really into hacks. So this is just something that I've noticed that people have been doing with Google Ads. How many of you guys run Google Shopping Ads or Google Performance Max? Okay, awesome. What I've noticed, and I teach a class of about 6,000 students, I've noticed that a lot of them just shove all their products into one Google Shopping campaign and then just let it run and just let Google, automatically match products. And I'm not saying if any of you guys do that, but that's just the default that I've seen. But the right way to do that, if you want to just even do like the first level optimization, is just to separate out your best converting products into a separate campaign and then exclude like your worst products. Now, to first order, like a lot of people might do that once, but then they do it once and they don't do it anymore because it is a pain in the ass to do this with Google, right? There's all these menus and everything. And so what I'm going to provide you guys here in 5 minutes, I got 4 minutes left, is the scripts that I use. I'm a former electrical engineer. I tend to automate everything. If anything's too hard, then I'm probably not going to do it. But with these scripts I'm going to share with you and I'll give to you, it makes it a breeze. Okay? So what you need to do this is you need 3 Google Sheets. One will store all the ads data that these scripts are going to grab from your account for Google Shopping and Performance Max. And then after that, you're going to create separate sheets to exclude products that are not performing, and then a separate list that will give you the products that are performing that you can put into a separate campaign. Okay? Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys noticed this, but Google Ads has this really cool thing called scripts. Anyone here using scripts for Google Ads? Okay, one person. Okay, this is cool, mainly because I'm a geek, I guess, but now that you have ChatGPT, you can actually have ChatGPT or AI write the code for you for these scripts. And so the way this works, I'm going to give you these scripts. I'm just going to walk you through how it works. First, you create a Google Sheet, and then you replace the Google Sheet URL in this script that I'm going to give you, and you just cut and paste it into the script section of your Google Ads account. Okay? Then you hit the Run button, and then in the Google Sheet, it automatically puts, in this case, it's your best-selling products, all nicely with all the metrics right in there for you. Now, which metrics constitute a good product is really up to you, and you can change the script. I can't even remember what my settings are, but the idea here is you have a list of all your products that are high converting. You take the best ones, and then you put them into a separate feed, and I name this my top products feed. And then I attach a custom label to these best products, and you can use whatever you want. I just use the word recommended in there, and that separates out your best-selling products. And then finally, you create a new campaign with just those best-selling products, and the idea is that Google will spend more money on those products because it knows it's the best-selling, and you'll get a better return on your ad spend. Almost always, in this case. Now, on the flip side, I have another script that I wrote for you guys that will pull out all of the lowest performing products. Let me give you an example. So we sold a lot of products during the pandemic, and before I was doing this, I didn't realize that Google was still allocating ad spend to those like masks and whatnot, which weren't selling and was just a big waste of money, right? And chances are, if you have a big catalog, you probably have products like this as well. And it's just wasting your money, and it's actually wasting like the visibility of your products in Google. So, same thing. You have a sheet here. You cut and paste the sheet, and then you run the low-performing products, and then all the low-performing products show up. You take the ones that you don't want to run ads anymore, you create a separate sheet, and then this one's important. The columns have to be ID and excluded destination, and then you exclude them from shopping ads and Performance Max. Okay? And then the way it works, the easiest way to do this is you create supplemental feeds in Google for this. Right? So you have your main feed with all of your products, and then you insert these 2 supplemental feeds, which is your top products and your low-performing products. And for the low-performing ones, you have it exclude from the Google Shopping campaigns. And for the top products, you have it inserts that special column recommended, so you can separate out those products and put it into your top products campaign. Okay? And if you do that, I can almost guarantee you that your Google Shopping and your Performance Max campaigns will do a lot better. 15 seconds to spin.
All right, you ready?
Okay,
Your 5 minutes starts right now.
All right. Right now, I'm gonna talk about SAI. It's something that we've created. It's called Signalix AI. It's a Amazon LLM chatbot, right? What it does is it goes in and you can ask this questions, right? It goes in and looks at all your data on your like the APIs that you get from Amazon of your whole account, and then you can ask them questions. So here's some examples. Please give me my 8 KPI on my WOW data, week over week, okay? So it would say your key KPI for the last 2 weeks are sales dropped from 15,000 to 11,000, down $3,000, $3,000, 25%. Orders fell from 164 to 124. Units decreased by 209 to 155, and so on. So there's all this stuff, all data that from your data, from your account, so you know. And then it'll also say why. You can say what's the reason for the drop, and then it'll list up what was the reason for the drop, and then you can say what's causing the decline, and then it'll tell you what and how to fix it. And then also it gives you details on how to fix it, and if you want, there's a guardrail, right? Because this is an AI. We don't want him to do stuff that we don't want, because it will shoot out tasks in ClickUp to the employees that is assigned to that account. If it was a brand manager or if it was a PPC manager, it'll shoot it out accordingly based on the task, so that it's more automated. But since it's an AI and we want to make sure that it does it correctly, we make sure that we have guardrails. So we say, please make a ClickUp task for 1 to 5, 1 and 5, and it makes it. Okay, also, we can have a targeted recommendation recovery. It tells you what exactly we would do, and if you ask it, or you can say, hey, give me the top 5 of decreasing ASINs, or top 10 of my increasing ASINs that's been doing well, and it will do that. You can ask them what's my week over week report looks like, and then it'll show you in a tablet form, table form. And so we used, just in the beginning, we used Lovable to create the interface, the front end. And for the NAN workflow, that's where we use the automation with the AI agent and other tools. So the database, you can use BigQuery or AWS, whatever you want. That's the brain, right? So we also use, I think I already said Lovable, but we also have a RAG agent that would be someone that is smart. You put all the good, like SOPs or things that you would really normally want to train your BBC manager or a account manager. All the past videos or past files, so that they'll learn, and then they'll know what to do. So what we're working on is trying to make it so that it can actually do the task, do the PPC, do the other tasks right now. But that's something down the line, but we're going towards that direction to automate as much as possible.
How do they use it? How do they get access to it?
I can give you the JSON file for it, so you can use it. But I'll see what we can do for the interface, so that you guys can take it and use it.
All right.
Sounds great. Let's start.
Hello, I'm Nico. We talk about content a lot today, and how many of you would like to have a secret weapon in your pocket that speak to you like a brand expert and nail your marketing copy I'm going to show you a secret that I use. And I was told by an agency that the brand that I built with this marketing voice was the best in the room the last time I was in the event. So, okay, so this is a custom ChatGPT that think like your brand DNA. So how we're going to do that is that we're going to turn your ChatGPT into a Wikipedia of your brand, and it's a custom brand that built on the PDF, and it actually learned the top 5 copywriting books of all time, and the result is that this 24/7 branding experts that make your marketing copy convert like crazy. I'm talking about your brand voice, the tone, the emotional trigger, the product hierarchy, the avatar psychology. You're talking to their pain point. So how you're gonna do that is follow the link in the group chat and you can download the PDF. This is super easy, but super powerful. And you're gonna fill in this prompt that helped me create this custom ChatGPT. And it's gonna read all these 5 books as a methodology. And then once you're done, I'm just gonna show you this example that pretending that this is a PDF, and I give you the access for the PDF so you can read through it. This has all the methodology, the books that are read inside this prompt and this PDF. And when you put in the ChatGPT, it literally asks you questions of maybe 1 to 10. And I did this for several of my brand, and it asks different questions every time. But just take your time to really answer this question because it talk about your emotional connections, your unique point of your product. And for example, it speaks like marketing copy, how should it sound to your audience? And here's one of my brand example, what tone of voice that you should use and how does it sound warm, even like the hook. Some of you that create content here, this is extremely important. Like it will actually tell you what is the most important hook or call to action that you should use in your content. So super, super powerful in social media. So pretending that you actually go through all these questions, these 10 questions, it's gonna tell you like, who's your avatar? And we all know our avatar, but just kind of let ChatGPT does its thing. It nailed it, like 5 group of avatar, and then the marketing copy should actually talking to this 5 avatar and ask you very detailed of your product. Okay, and so okay, I have 1 minute left. So after this, and after you're done all the 10 questions, and this is what it's going to return to it. It's gonna give you your brand DNA system instruction. It kind of give you a summary. Now what is your brand is about? The voice, the tone, who is the audience, the call to action, the emotional trigger. How many of you has female avatar in this room? Like, how do you speak to them? And this is super powerful because we use ChatGPT all day long. If you just have random chat, like you just end up like having different tone of voice here and there, and it never align. You can use this in your website, in your Amazon page, email marketing, your social content. They all speak like you have a super agent app agency behind you, and you hire this like 6-figure marketing expert to actually, learn your brand pretty much. So this is the result that once you're done, you can redo your Amazon listing. And I just want to share, this is my brand, what my daughter inspired this brand. And the top 3 feature, clean, safe, magical. And this is like a spot patches for kids. And then top features is kid size, vegan, move, approve. We all fight for customers' attention span. It's so clean, so clear, and then you can just grab them the couple seconds there on your page. It converts. Hope you like this.
You did it. Congratulations.
So how many of you want to learn how to drive limitless amount of traffic to your Amazon store or any channel you choose to? Give me a show of hands. How many want to drive it for physical products, personal brands, and or SaaS, anything you can imagine? Okay, I'm about to show you the one single thing that I did to drive $2 million worth of traffic to a $300 hydrogen water bottle. So it was all done through carousel posts. So for those of you guys that don't know what a carousel post is, let me first start by showing you that. And you're going to be surprised at how silly these things are. Now, obviously, these are celebrity-based posts in this particular example, but I'm going to show you posts that don't have a single celebrity in them. But as you can see here, all it is just some text about something, right? That's all it is. And the funny thing is these are automated. So these are a video on loop just talking about different things, and it turns out to be about skincare, right? Where they show like before and afters, so things like that. But this is not a pretty good example. Here's a very good channel right here, and you'll notice that a lot of the pictures here are very eye-catching. They took time to get those photos and then put text overlays on them like this, right? This is all generated through AI. And the reason that I can tell this is a software called FFmpeg that is very complicated to use. There's very few people in here. Who's heard of FFmpeg out of curiosity? So very few people know how to use it. I knew Matt was going to be one of them for sure, but you can tell just because of the way that these text boxes are created. But I went ahead and did something else for you guys, and you're going to see here in a second. Here's another great example of one. And these just get a lot of people looking at them because they want to see what the story is about. And it's basic photos with the text overlay. That's what a carousel post is. So what I went ahead and did while we were having the hot seat over next door is I actually vibe coded something on a platform I've never even tried, which is emergent.sh. And I vibe coded a app for you guys. And it's right now it's just the code. And what it basically does is it creates these carousel posts for you. So it takes on average, I did 10 slides per each one. It takes 60 seconds to put 10 of these together. And all you've got to do is put in the picture of your product and then give it a couple details on the product, and it'll literally make these. And of course you can modify the prompt and make it better. But this is all it does. It basically puts out these carousel posts. And then the last 3 here, it will actually integrate your product. So you'll notice right there's a Goldie bottle. You can't see it like really close up, but then as we get to the next few, here's the Goldie bottle back there. And then on this one, there's the Goldie bottle right there. So this automatically generates these carousel posts for you guys to put out for anything you want. And these are all over TikTok. They're all over Instagram. Here's an example of one that's made to be a little bit more UGC style. And again, it's a complete story. So you have to actually switch to each slide. On top of that, what I did do that I have not connected yet for y'all is this thing right here will automatically post the content for you on Blotato. And so Blotato, it costs about $97 a month, but you can literally post thousands and thousands of videos a month on here. And in combination with these that I made over here with this, these cost about 10 cents maximum. So you're going to be getting 10 cents per piece of content that you distribute out there on TikTok, on Instagram, or any channel you choose. And the reality is, guys, these convert, and they convert extremely well. A lot of the actual Instagram and TikTok that represent these, this one right here is an example of a SaaS that went from 0 to 80K MRR entirely just using carousel posts. So this code is for you guys to modify however you want. I happen to use Nano Banana on this. All you got to do is you enter your API keys, and then you decide what model you'd like to use. And then if you want to modify the prompt for the script itself, like Miko showed a way to be able to do it for your brand. So you guys know your brand best. So all you got to do is just modify those basic things, and this thing will automatically spit out these carousel posts for you. And then I'll give you a link to the code. I already hosted it to GitHub. And then this, I'll go ahead and do a video and show you guys how to connect this so you can have the automatic content posting machine for yourselves. So this is my app.
Very good. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to steal Procter & Gamble's Amazon holiday strategy. Small little company, right? But first, I wanted to do a live demo of this. So, imagine I'm an Amazon product in the SERPs, right? Now, pay attention. This is going to happen really quick. Bam! That's the hack. That's it. So what this is, I know, and it sounds ridiculous, but these are real main images from Gillette, from Nivea, and that bow is really crappy, by the way, from Braun, from another, Gillette Venus. And why did they do this? Well, it works, right? They mandate that the products have this because it gets more attention, it signifies it's a gift. So all they're doing is adding a little holiday element to their main image so that it stands out. Can I do this? And can you guys do this? Yes. Worst case is you get a super quick suspension that's fixed by uploading a new main image. Best case is a heck of a lot more sales. But what if my product's not giftable? You know what? It doesn't matter. It actually works for any category. Last year we had a brand, they make, I didn't know what a squirrel baffle was. They put a little hat on the guy and their sales were much better without that. So how do you do this? I mean, everyone knows how to use AI, right? My favorite is using Nano Banana. It keeps the product typically the same. Sometimes you can give it the bow, give it the product, and then, okay, fine, it put the bow on it, but now it's covering my whole label. So you say, hey, don't cover the label. I like what it does. It covers it. Sure, here's the image with the bow not covering the label. So it can be a little frustrating, but you guys can get it to work. But we did also make something called variationizer.com. It's the first AI that actually creates AI images in layers. So you can fine tune it and edit it as you see fit. It might be the first in the world. We actually submitted a patent on this as well too. This is kind of how it works. So you can actually generate anything. So we're using festive stuff here, but you can generate, like if it's coffee, you can even generate coffee beans, put it on the main image. In this case, we generated that bow. We're placing it on there. And then, it's good to go as a main image, just like that. And literally you type in red bow and it will create the bows or whatever decoration that you want. Little Santa hat, doesn't matter. It can do it.
Anything else doesn't have to be.
It can do anything. It does not have to be holiday, but for the purpose of this, we're showcasing the holiday. And we'll actually in the workshop, I'll show you a little bit more fun stuff on Sunday, how to work with this too. So like I said, you can do a gold bow, you can do anything that you want, makes it a lot more giftable. So, the question is, Matt, does this actually work? This is kind of silly. No, it actually does work. So we did this for a bunch, like I said, of brands last year. People were messaging me, thank you so much for this. 33% increase in CTR, not too shabby for a simple bow or holiday thing on the main image. Easy excuse for you guys to update a main image. So, Festify your listing, get more sales, and if you want a whole bunch of these pre-done PNGs, scan that QR code. It's just a Google Drive link. You can use these inside any AI tool. Just be like, hey, put this on top of that, or just upload all of them and be like, hey, make a cool festive main image for myself, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Very nice. And look, go.
Okay, so how many of you were here earlier for the SEO conversation? Perfect. So this is an extension of that. This is what we've been doing. Sex toys are really hard to sell because you can't run ads for a lot of the things, so SEO is the main thing that we have to do. It's also very competitive because of that, because there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on in the space. So with this strategy that takes literally 5 minutes and anyone can do it, we went from roughly this flat line right here is about 20 to 22,000 sessions a month on our website. Just by doing this, we started it at the beginning of June. It does take about a month and a half to see it work. You'll see a small trickle up, and then we peaked out at 360,000 sessions, all organically, not paid for. And now we've leveled off to about 280,000 sessions to our Shopify site. Our main keyword is vibrator, and you can see from this, this is directly from our Google Search Console. We're getting roughly 600 to 700 free clicks a day from this 5-minute task. So what we're doing is we're creating podcasts. Has anyone used Google's Notebook LM? A few people. So basically, if you listened earlier, you want to create this entity that's is considered highly regarded within the space. So we're using podcasts and authority figures within the space to do that. The way that we're doing it is, I'll skip that part for now, we'll come back. But we're basically using Notebook LM. We're going and finding scientific journals about whatever features or benefits our product has. So like for vibrators, we're doing like benefits of like masturbation. And we're uploading all of these Harvard studies from these well-known doctors that are published, that Google knows, everyone, like all the AI search engines know. And just plugging it in here and creating their deep dive, and then it gives you a 2-person conversation that is a podcast format, and it's anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes. Once you have that, you just go to Substack and you create a Substack account. It's free. We do it with a fresh, clean new Gmail because you'll need that clean Gmail for the other things down below. And then you're really just uploading the podcast to that and doing the title, for the entire podcast, the title for just that episode, and then writing the description. And then you're entering links to your products or to like Reddit posts that you're boosting, or directly to your Amazon products. It works for Amazon canonical URLs as well. And just letting that feed out into the system. What this does is it syndicates it out to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that. These are super high domain authority backlinks that like people would pay big bucks for. And you can stack up hundreds of them. The key that we've found though is you tailor a podcast to a very specific keyword. So we have a 20-part series where every single podcast within that, like the title of it includes vibrator. The podcast is called like vibrators something. And we're doing that for all of our top 10 keywords. So we have like hundreds of podcasts for this website and 10 to 20 episodes for every single one of those. We've done this on about 40 sites. We haven't seen one that it hasn't worked on. So super simple, takes 5 minutes, and yeah, like there's no reason not to do it.
Okay, so I don't have a presentation or anything. It's really super simple, but before I get into that, I'm not above bribing. So if anyone wants to give me a shot for their vote, I do have vodka here and mixers if you are a bitch, but that's okay. We don't judge, especially if you vote for me. So does anyone here, we just talked about podcasts and stuff, does anyone here have a podcast? Cool. If you don't vote for me and you have your podcast, va fanculo. But this is something that I'm going to share with you. I am co-host to a podcast. We get 250,000 downloads a month. Super grateful for it. If you've never heard of Perpetual Traffic, download it now and give me 5 stars. If you're not going to vote for me, at least do that. When I came on, I inherited the podcast. It's been around 8 years before I joined. I've been on for almost 2 years. Before me, the podcast made $0. So what I'm going to explain to you is how it now makes hundreds of thousands of dollars in less than a year. So if you'd like your podcast to make boku bucks, you better give me that vote. So essentially, I came on, we were getting so many guest requests. Does anyone have guest requests? For those that have a podcast, do you get guest requests in the regular? Cool. Sometimes those guests suck. Like they're garbage, and you're like, why did I just sit through and listen to someone read me an AI prompt where they clearly don't know anything about what they were discussing? It's all what their team does, not them. Obviously, none of the presenters are like that, so thank God we've got a good room. But that's not the case for most of the guests that will request to be on your podcast. So the easiest, it's embarrassing, this shouldn't count as a hack. Just be a bitch. And what you're gonna do is when they request, you're gonna say, hey, absolutely. You create a second email. If you don't have an email address or an EA or someone else, you just make a fake email. And you say, awesome. I'm going to pass you along to my show's producer. It could still be you, just behind a different email. So then you introduce Alex, do a gender-neutral name, Alex or Chris, because sometimes people don't want to talk to a male or a female, whatever. They have their own childhood trauma. We're not going to judge them for it. And then you're going to say, hello, Alex, or hello, Chris. Super excited to introduce you to Norm. He wants to be on our podcast. Can you please pass over all the information for him? What's really good is you can make this a Gmail template. And you don't have to do anything else. You could just go down the templates, drop it, send it to your fake Alex, and then Alex is going to pick up the conversation and then send them the same template that says, awesome, it's $6,000 to $20,000 per episode. Because of that, we are totally sold out of spots on the podcast. That it's all going up to $8,000 to $10,000 minimum per episode in January. So sorry about it, guys, but we have ended up getting $25,000 from Shopify, $20,000 from TikTok. We've got Unbounce gave us $35,000. So what's really good is you just have to send this to 1 or 2 people. They don't even have to get on your podcast. But you will be surprised how many motherfuckers are so happy to give you money to get in front of your podcast and be friends with you. So also, if you vote for me, I'll shout you out on my podcast because it's 250,000 people that download every month. And I won't charge you, except for your vote. So anyways, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a fake email or just pass it to an A, create a template email that's gonna say, great, let me pass your introduction, because people want to feel validated, right? I love validation, can't you tell? So you're gonna send that validation, introduce them to a fake Alex, send a template that says, here's what our rates are, and then you're gonna start a conversation. 1, it shuts out the people you don't wanna interview. 2, it gets people to pay you money that you didn't even know they were happy to pay for it. 3, where it gets even stronger is they're gonna actually introduce other people they think are gonna be better guests for you. That is how I got some of the biggest wigs at TikTok to bring on their people. It's how we got big brands to do it. You only need 1 paid guest before your tech companies are gonna come flocking to you. If you have a podcast and you have a very specific audience, you just have to find that 1 software company. I'm telling you, they're so happy to pay $20,000 to $30,000. And then to take it even further, if you wanna know how to go from like $6,000 to a guest to $35,000, because that's what we've been charging. A lot of us probably are familiar with the ads in podcasts. Norm, you have sponsored ads. When you have a sponsored guest, they get a full episode as an ad, and then you can change it $6,000 for us per episode, but it goes as much as $35,000 because then we're gonna add you in pre-roll ads in podcast after the episode that you were on to air it back into it. So they're always happy to do more and more and more, so you don't have to only charge them once for $6,000. You can say, hey, I'm gonna give you a slot for the next 2 weeks, and then it goes up to $35,000. So give me a shot and I'll give you a shot, and like I said, I have chasers.
We're not losers, right? Everybody in here has PPC expenses, ads, Google ads, Amazon ads. Not gonna insult you guys' intelligence. If you don't have that, you get the, American Express Gold Card gives you the 4x points, right? But I'm sure many of us have like over like 2 or 3 million points in Amex, maybe. You can redeem for air travel and stuff like that at a great rate. And then what? A lot of people go into the Chase Sapphire Reserve, giving you 3% cash back, but you're doing it wrong. You can get 4.4% cash back on your ad spend. The way normal people do it, they get that 4x points Amex Gold, redeem it for 0.6 cents on the dollar. Every point is worth 0.6 cents if you're on a standard American Express card. But that's how losers do it. We're not losers. American Express Platinum for Charles Schwab lets you redeem your American Express points for 1.1 cents if you deposit it into a Charles Schwab brokerage account. And that is a completely free account to open. But wait, it gets better. So that's what the losers see. Explore rewards for those who want 0.6 cents on the dollar. But what you see when you have the Schwab card is invest with rewards. You go through that, you redeem your points for 4.4 cents. And then when you go to Charles Schwab, you make sure that you open something called the starter kit, which adds an additional $50 of stock on them. This is what your formula looks like. And you're probably gonna tell me, hey Charles, there's over $1,000 in annual fees. But if you know what you're doing, and if you scan the QR code, you'll find out how you'll actually profit off of these cards more than it's actually saving you with the 4.4%. So instantly reduce your ACOS, and this is going out in my newsletter on Monday, which is signed, sealed, and approved by Kevin, as you can see there. I believe I have time in case anybody wants to approach me for questions. Yes? No? Maybe? Enjoy your 4.4%.
Josh has got a question.
What's the investment with the rewards? How's that get you the 4.4%?
That's how you transfer your points to your Schwab account at the 1.1 cent valuation.
Okay.
So instead of, you'll see a button when you open the new card, instead of Explore Rewards, it switches to Invest with points or something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
You get it first, what, 10,000, right?
You can do that up to 10,000 per calendar year, and then you just wait for the next calendar year and cash out another 11,000.
You do it with multiple cards, multiple accounts.
No, everybody's American Express points is tied to their social. So you're gonna have to play some games with partners and stuff like that.
Anyone else got a question? All
That's
right.
it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Leave my table here.
All right. Yeah.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Paul, I'm a lawyer. This is so cool, I get to be up here and I get to share a hack. Usually as lawyers, we're like the buzzkill, we're like the guy handing out STD flyers at Burning Man. It fucking sucks. Today, you know that joke, I've said that. Today I get to give you a real hack. It's not really a hack, it's just a thing. It's something we've been doing in our firm forever, not really much of it, just kind of from time to time we get this question. But one day I read one of Kevin's newsletters and there was this sort of gripe about how American sellers apparently have a disadvantage, or put another way, the China-based sellers seem to have an advantage. They get away with stuff that we don't get away with, the China-based sellers. Who here sells on Amazon? For those of you who don't sell on Amazon, who here is responsible for others selling on Amazon or otherwise profits from Amazon? Keep your hands up. Who here, put your hand down keep your hands up, come on. Keep your hand up. If you have a monopoly in your category, just put your hand down for me, will you? Okay, just you. All right. Today we're going to talk about weaponized compliance. My computer's not working. I don't need it. I can just talk about it. Weaponized compliance is a name that I gave to something because what we realized is it's not actually that China has an unfair advantage, it's that Amazon can't track all of what's going on. There is a huge opportunity right now. If you sell products and your competitors are making claims, maybe that supplement cures a very harsh disease or any disease. Maybe they're making antibacterial claims. Maybe the little warning sign on their little fabric softener or whatever doesn't have the right caution language. Maybe they're lying about what's inside their supplement. 70,000 IU of vitamin E. Bullshit. With weaponized compliance, we killed those listings. Gone. We set our phasers to kill, not to stun. Because the way we submit this as lawyers, we do all the research, we do all the write-ups, we do everything. We submit it to Amazon's legal team, and here's the rub. When you make a claim about a product, and it turns out not to be true, you don't just get to go back and fix that. Oh, oops, my mistake. Sorry, I did $1 million in sales saying this thing cured whatever disease. I'll just take that out and we'll be good to go. Meanwhile, I have thousands of reviews and great ranking. No. That's what we call in the law the fruit of the poison tree. So if you're in an industry that is at all suffering from, or a category that is all suffering from people who are violating the rules, things that you wouldn't do as an American-based business maybe, or maybe even your American competitors are playing a little fast and loose with the rules. With weaponized compliance, you now have the opportunity to wake up one day in the very near future and see all of that competition gone from the marketplace. How cool is that? Does anyone think that's cool, or is that just me? I don't know. Our clients are loving it. I'm just telling you that right now. So check out weaponizedcompliance.com if you want to learn more, and thanks for listening.
All right, here we go.
So I'm not trying to be smart, I'm just trying to be useful here, okay? How many of you have the email list? Okay, so it will be useful for only 10% of people. I'm sorry for that. How many of you are selling that have email lists are selling on Amazon? So those of you that are selling on Amazon have email list can, I don't know, double or triple your revenue if you will use this specific approach. I promise it works. We use it and do it every single year, and it works and for the product and for the agency. So that's the Black Friday demand lockdown funnel. So you run 2 funnels at the same time. You start with the funnel number 1, which is your VIP waiting list. Generally speaking, the idea is that you have to identify your customers that want to join your waiting list for your product, especially if you have consumables or something that you are selling on Subscribe and Save. And the second funnel is the purchase preparation when you're hyping people up. So your funnel for the VIP waiting list, I did it in Gamma. I did not create this whole picture, so give me some credit because it was on the plane. So you do the VIP exclusivity first. You're attracting your highest intent buyers. with the giving them some privilege. So you're doing the demand generation and you're doing explosive launch there. So here's some tactics. With the step number 1, you're creating the product, the offer preview page. So you do not reveal your prices, you're revealing what are you going to offer, and you're letting them know like, hey, if you want to join, here's some scarcity, get the biggest transformation of the year with up to 60%, whatever, 120% off only for VIPs. Countdown timer is always there. You have to have the countdown timer for your waiting list and make sure people are joining. Your section number 2, you have the offer preview, and one of the important things, if you are manufacturing for Q4 season, for example, 10,000 units, you are saying that only 3,000 units are going for your Black Friday sale, because everything that out of capacity will be left for your Q4 season that you're not planning to discount whatsoever, because you also have to have some profit. So some phrases that really worked in the past is, I regret not to buying last year. The Black Friday, I'm stocking up for the entire year of the supplements, for example. I was reviewing my hot seat for tomorrow, and I was reviewing her reviews, and I found so much valuable information in the reviews of your products, guys. So if you're going into your reviews, you will find out so much UGC created content by your shoppers that you can screenshot and include into your email list. So for example, the results were insane. I saw changes in just 2 weeks, best purchase I've made in the full year. Then you're again reiterating in your section by creating FOMO that like only 3,000 units available out of 10,000 manufactured, 2 hours early access. This is very important. So when you're creating the waiting list, it's not like, hey, I'm going to run Black Friday sale, right? Everyone died because they forgot about it. You are saying that during the first 2 hours when you open the sale, the VIP list that's on your waiting list, they will get extra discount. So they have to be prepared because you're your warm customers. They already purchased from you. It's the easy sell. So, and you're creating this 2 hours early access that you will run additional funnel for these guys as well. So, and then you are going into the VIP capture form, and here's the important part, you have the checkbox opt-in when you're saying send me early access reminders, which in this case, you're getting their consent that they're okay with you sending them everything you want, and they give you permission, and they're showing the high intent for the offer. So then you're saying them that they're good to go for your VIP list. Step number 4, your VIP email SMS sequence. I also list everything here, how you're supposed to do it. You are doing email number 1 with welcome and what to expect, of course. And then you are doing some product education. Make sure you include reviews from your shoppers. Maybe they will see their review there and they will get some extra validation, because we'll love validation, right? So you're showing real result transformation, 5-star reviews. Then you're doing product education number 2. You're doing social proof. Don't forget to do this. And then you're hyping them up so they want to see how soon they can get this. And you're reiterating to this second funnel that, hey, don't forget, only 3,000 units are available, 2 hours for the VIP window with the extra discount, and it's only 1 time a year. So you do this preview reminder, review the full list, and I have 8 seconds, and the link to Blake offer, and I will give you this link so you will get pretty much the full list of people. Vote for me!
All right, guys. So this is not a hack. It's more like potential strategy that you should be using if you're obviously an e-commerce seller. So how many of you are familiar with instant checkout? You guys know what that is? By OpenAI? Not really? Okay. Well, right now, if you go on ChatGPT and you search for anything really, in this case, I typed in what is the best way to keep a long clear. I made a mistake, but anyway, ChatGPT gives you an answer. If you want to trigger some products, you say, okay, what is the best tool to use for it? And then ChatGPT gives you some potential tools with some potential mentions. And so right now, if you go there, you probably came across something like this, right? So how many have seen this type of results, right? Cool. Now, the instant checkout is a little bit different. It's actually shopping inside the app. It looks like this. That's it. So this is pretty cool because you don't need to have a website. You're basically shopping inside instant checkout. And so I thought there was an opportunity here because right now the problem is that you can only sell on instant checkout or opt in for it if you are selling on Shopify or Etsy. So let me ask you if you would like to be an early MCF, which is fulfilled by Amazon, instant checkout seller. Interested? Cool. So what I did is this. I created a WordPress plugin, which basically is for non-Shopify sellers. So if you're a Shopify seller, good for you. You can already submit your request, and then hopefully you get approved. But what the plugin does, it integrates basically everything that you need to be compliant for into your WordPress store. So what it does, it enables instant checkout. It also creates a feed, and it communicates directly with your TikTok or Amazon fulfillment. So if you're selling on TikTok Shop and you have Fulfilled by TikTok, it will enable that, or Amazon MCF. And already optimizes the feed, and it also enables the Agentic Commerce Protocol, which is the protocol that OpenAI is using to basically communicate with your server, get to you the order, and then get back the request, get a payment through Stripe, and eventually the request that your product has been shipped. So once you install the plugin, you can basically import all of your products or just one product alone. And once that is set up, you can, what page are you looking at? I'm sorry, you're not seeing the next slides, but basically once you have the product set up, it will generate automatically a JSON feed for you, which right now is compatible specifically with OpenAI, but there is also going to be an option for Google Shopping. So what Steve was mentioning earlier, you can use also these for your Google Shopping feed. And once you're done, you're basically now compliant. So you're ready to submit your feed to OpenAI, and it automatically optimizes for over 75 different attributes. So if you have downloaded a flat fly from Amazon, you know how many attributes you have. So what it does, it maps each one of your feed from or attributes from Amazon to OpenAI and makes it compliant so that you're basically optimized for OpenAI as well. This is pretty much what the feeds or the attributes look like. And once you're done, you can scan this QR code. It takes you to the page that you basically need to visit in order to submit your application to OpenAI. So you want to basically say or ask to integrate your website with instant checkout via Agentic Commerce Protocol. And that's it. Once you're done, you just wait for Sam Altman to hopefully approve your store. And that's it. But if you don't have, by the way, a WordPress store, there is a cool website called Team Forest. If you don't know about it, they have tons of templates for $49. And literally, you can have someone on Upwork create a website like this one for like maybe $150, $200. And then have the plugin which fits in with OpenAI. That's it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
All right, what's up, guys?
All right, you ready?
I am.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so earlier we did a session with Becky. We were doing the hot seat. I remember how I was talking about the importance when you're selling on Shopify and you're running ads. It's unlike Amazon where people are searching for products and you need to go out there on a platform like Meta and you need to track customers, get them off Meta, get them to your website shopping. The best way to do that is to position your brand as a category of one, unlike anybody else at satisfying your customers' top desires. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that today. Okay, so I call this method story selling. The brands that I've worked with, I have a leading Shopify agency. We're a top Klaviyo partner. We have a mentorship community like this for Shopify merchants. And the brands I see that grow the fastest, they know how to position themselves as, like I said, a category of one. Is Josh in the room? Josh went from Amazon to Shopify and it didn't go so well, but I feel like if he did this, it would have went better. Okay? Because if you can position yourself as the best at satisfying your customers' most prominent desires, better than anybody who came before you, you can always generate demand, no matter if it's a downturn economy or anything else that's going on. So this is a product that I launched a year and a half ago. It's a skincare product, 40 milliliter product that sells for $500. Okay, guys are shocked, girls not so shocked. Okay? Yeah, it's a little bit shocking. So I did this. And the founder was approaching me and she was like, Scott, listen, I got this amazing product. It's $500. Can you help me do this? Initially, I was like, no, I could teach you how to do it. But she kept bugging me. And she was like a really crazy founder, which I loved. And I was like, tell me more about the product. She started showing me these like focus groups that she was running, and people were getting this amazing result. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this challenge because skincare is competitive. Anybody sell skincare here? Competitive as, right? So I liked the challenge. We had no celebrity endorsements, no social media following whatsoever, no email list at all. The only thing we had was a compelling narrative, okay? We had a story that gave the product meaning, gave the customer urgency, and tapped into customers' most prominent desires. So this was a long-form story ad that I launched. I wrote this myself. I'm a copywriter. Okay, so I wrote this ad. This is a Facebook ad. It's 4 screenshots long. Has anyone ever seen a Facebook ad that long? No? This is a Facebook ad. Okay, and you can see I generated 100K in our first 3 months of launching with this one ad. Okay, and you can see in the very beginning, what does it say in the headline? It says, this is gonna be the most expensive skincare product you ever buy, but it's gonna be the purest and it's gonna deliver a result you've never seen before. So people are like, holy shit, that's expensive. Tell me more. I'm curious. And then it goes into the origin story, how hard we fought to get this product. Experts, scientists, laboratories all told us no. They were like, go to hell. We were like, no, we're not going to hell. We're going to make this product. And we kept fighting. We did it. And here we are with the product. And it goes into section 3, which I call the differentiation stack, where it compares other people's products that are inferior to yours that are superior. So you're like, hey, most people use 5 active ingredients. We use 25. Most people, they white label their skincare products. We source ours from all these exotic places. Most people use water, not us. We use sour cherry water. And then it goes to this section called the testimonial stack, where you overcome the biggest objections, and it finishes with what I call the offer. So it goes like this: category of 1 headline, tap into your customers' raw desires, direct them onto your product. Origin story, position yourself as a category nerd, a nutcase who fought hard to bring the best products to your customers. Differentiation stack, prove your product is better than anything else. Testimonial stack, dismantle the 5 biggest objections in your customer's mind. And the offer, where you add an incentive and take away a risk to get people to act now. Okay, so this ad was so successful that I taught our merchants. We have like, go back. Oh, he wants to go back there? Don't worry, you're not gonna need this. You're not gonna need this. Okay, so this works so well that I decided to teach our community how to write these kinds of ads. Some people did it and got good results. Everybody else hated me. Why did they hate me? Because they didn't want to learn how to write this kind of ad. Okay? But it was very effective for a lot of categories: beauty, apparel, home goods, specialty foods. The people that were doing this were knocking it out of the park. Like Leslie here, she's like, oh my God, Scott, because when I saw her ad, I was like, I'm gonna bet you that this performs. And she was like, you were right, you should have taken my bet. You can see in my comment, I was like, I wanted to bet. Okay, I was a cocky little Canadian bastard. Robin here, 4 return on ad spend. She got up to like 100K a month with this ad. Anne sells jewelry. She's been in the game for a long time. She's got her best performing ad of all time, 3-year ROAS. Val, who's big on Amazon. She has Spread the Love peanut butter. Anybody know Val? Spread the Love peanut butter? Anyway, she's crushing it. Her ad looks like this, 10 ROAS. Thai curry paste, best performing ad. Back pain tool, best performing ad. Blankets, best performing ad. Soaps, best performing ad. And I'm here to give it to you guys. I built an AI version of it, okay? So I built an AI version for it. You guys don't need to write it anymore. Go to merchantmastery.io/GPT, and it will interview you and write this ad for you. Everybody that I showed you used AI.
All right, thank you. All right, and third place was Matt Altman. All right, congratulations. In second place was Liz. And in first place, the winner of $1,000 and a free ticket to Nashville.
That was $800.
Oh, 800, that's right, Mark's taking his commission. 7. Is Lauren.
Totally works.
You negotiated
Lauren, I
500
believe
for
you
me.
made that 500 rule. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You can keep your money.
No, okay.
I'm gonna use your podcast.
All right. All right, that's it for today. Thanks, everybody. This is a little bit longer day. We won't be going this long the other 2 days, but